I'm Chris Smith from Complete Class. We're an LLC. We're an educational technology company. Our pitch is we motivate K through 12 students to become healthy, involved scholars and citizens through the use of our extrinsic incentives. We have a vision for every child to be in class, in shape, and inspired when they're in school. Our focus initially is going to be on Detroit and Southeast Michigan. Our main focus is going to be on the middle school, and the first years especially is going to be in the 8th grade in Detroit. A little story that just happened this week. School just started, and a neighbor kid, middle school kid in my hometown, came to my door, knocked, and had magazines for sale. And so while I was buying his magazine, he was informing me for about 5 minutes of how he got paid off of this magazine sale. So I finally bought the magazine. He took off, and it reminded me when I was a kid, I used to have to sell coconut clusters and peanut brittle and all this stuff to unsuspecting family members and neighbors, and I'm sure all of us have done similar things. And it's still a thriving business. Over $1.5 billion a year is sold in these student armies of sales forces going out in the community. We want to do something similar, but we want to use the money raised for that to directly incent the student to do better in school, and that's kind of our goal right now. Our target market is those children, but our target market is also the child that's a little bit more apathetic towards school than they were when they were in elementary school. The child that did really well, older they get, the worse they do. For whatever reason, they start skipping school, which is a big issue. In Detroit Public Schools alone, DPS lost $4.2 million last year alone in lost revenue due to students not going to school enough days of the year, over 75% of the time. So it's a big issue, and a number of students are always, I have the number, in 2006, almost 20% of ninth graders dropped out before graduating in 2010 in Detroit. So you're talking about 1 in 5 students just in Detroit dropping out before they graduate. So we want to get these students in these tween years before they're in high school while they're still kind of malleable, and to try to motivate them to do better in school. So how do we do this? What we do is we have 5 categories that we motivate students in. None of them are grade or test score specific. They're all, F student could do it as well as an A student. They include attendance, participation in your school, which could be joining a chess club or some group or association. Citizenship, which can mean tolerance, anti-bullying in the environment, and then our 2 main core focus, which is health and physical activity. None of these issues are standalone issues. I don't feel like a kid can focus on his physical fitness if he's getting bullied at school, if he's not at school. So to us, we have to look at this and put our arms around the entire issue, which is what we're trying to do. In Detroit alone, in Michigan alone, 30.6% of children are considered overweight or obese. And in Detroit, 19% of high school students are considered obese. So how does our program work? What we do is we allow kids to earn tokens. They're electronic tokens. Anytime they have positive achievements in any of these motivators, they'll get a token. We want to make it fun for the end user. A lot of these businesses want to get this quantifiable data, and they're focused on that more than actually getting the end user to use the program. So we want to get these kids to find it fun, earn tokens, and then what they'll be able to do is buy prizes in our Complete Class store. These prizes will be given to us by our sponsors and our partners, who will be able to advertise directly to these students, get some brand loyalty going with these students in exchange for some of these prizes, as well as paying us a little bit for advertising. So what we're looking to do is we're looking in the start of 2012 for spring break. We're looking to run a test pilot at 2 schools, one to control and one do actually the program. We're teaming up with Wayne State. They're going to do a feasibility study on this. And then we look to, in the fall of 2013, we look to take that data, kind of figure out exactly what worked in the program, and do a full launch in 2013 in Detroit. We'd eventually like to take this nationwide. Right now we're looking for seed funding to help us get our technologies built out, to help us get to the point where we can get to a break even with some sponsors, and get our database and all our technologies built. So again, Chris from Complete Class, I appreciate your time. Thank you.